All right. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. So we'll get started in a few minutes. We'll let some people come in. Y'all come on up in this room. What are we having for lunch today while we're waiting? I think I want me a spicy chicken sandwich and French fries. But y'all share with me what it is y'all are having for lunch because it's lunchtime. Hi, good afternoon, Manuel. How are you doing today? All right. Hello, everybody. Hello again. My name is Talisha Wells. I am a community liaison here in the Houston Health Department Immunization Bureau. And so my role is I go out and I educate people about vaccines and I answer any tough questions that they may have. So I'm here to give you some education, but then also answer any questions that you may have. You may see me looking a little bit because y'all I chase rabbits. So I so I will need to be looking at my notes so we stay on time. So I just want to share just some information that I've been seeing over the past few days because if you don't know, a lot of misinformation that comes out is on social media. And with the current outbreak, I've seen some information that I think needs to be addressed. And so one of those that I've seen is that it was a millennial. So I'm going to tell my age for a second. I am 30. I'm a millennial, and I saw on Facebook it was a young lady who was around my age, and she said that if you received the measles vaccine when you were a child, as an adult, it's worn off. And so I want to tell you that that is not true. That is not true. Sorry about that, y'all. That is not true. The MMR vaccine is 97% effective for the rest of your life. It's not, okay, I'm going to have to complete the series as a child, then I have to start back again as an adult. That is not true. Okay. Another thing that I saw that was kind of concerning, and our public health authority, Dr. White, spoke on this Tuesday, is about pregnant persons receiving the vaccine. They're saying that pregnant women need to receive this vaccine, and that is not true. That is very dangerous for for a pregnant person to receive the measles vaccine. Okay. Some other things that I want to talk about, and feel free to leave your comments, is another thing I've ran out when I do outreach is people have said, well, oh, well, I am a grandmother and I vaccinated my children, but now their parents don't want to vaccinate them. So I want to give you some tips if you are a family member or if you want to talk to friends about vaccines. And the main thing I want to talk about is asking open-ended questions. Okay, so asking questions like, how do you feel about this vaccine? What is causing you worry or concern about this vaccine? And make sure that you're showing empathy and affirming their choices. And what do I mean by that? So if they tell you, well, I'm concerned about the side effects of the measles vaccine, you could affirm that by saying, I'm glad you're taking time to learn about measles. I'm glad that you're asking me questions. I'm so thankful. Um, Another way of validating their emotions would be, let's say that someone tells you that the MMR vaccine is going to change your DNA. You can respond and say that would be really scary. Of course, I understand you want to make sure that vaccines are safe, and the good news is that no vaccine can change your DNA, and I can share information with you that could help you understand the science behind it. And so, oh, Manuel asked a question. Should I be worried if my child is going to school with people who are anti-vaccine? So, for me as a community health worker, when I am around unvaccinated people, I do have some concern. It makes me nervous. But then I remember that if I am vaccinated, I am protected. And that is why here at the health department, why we encourage vaccination, because the vaccine is the best way of protecting you um, from not contracting measles or any other vaccine preventable disease. And so if your child is vaccinated and they have completed the series, I would feel Yeah, it's okay to feel nervous because it is an outbreak, but understand that your child is protected if they have completed the vaccine. Any other questions? Okay, I don't see any other questions right now. And I'll tell you one way that I look at vaccines and how they protect me is I think about my cell phone. So for me, I have an iPhone and I always have to do updates. And I have been delaying the update on my iPhone. And if you don't know, if you don't update an iPhone, I don't know about Android users, but I know for iPhones, if you don't update it, eventually it will not work as efficiently. And that's kind of how vaccines are. If you update your body, giving yourself the vaccine, that is a way of your immune system updating so your body can stay healthy and protected. Does that make sense? And so, um, I don't have any questions right now. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the history of measles. And so measles has been around over 1,000 years. This is not a new illness. And so before vaccines, it was over 500,000 cases per year, and so many people in droves, hundreds, were passing away from measles. And so in 1954, Dr. John Enders and Dr. Thomas Peebles, they isolated the measles vaccine for the vaccine creation. And then the first vaccine was licensed in 1963, in which an improved version came out later in 1968. And that is the one that we still have today. That is the one that is 97% effective. That is the one that, as I mentioned on the last slide that I was on, this is like the go to for vaccines. So it's like, okay, we're creating a new vaccine. Okay, we have to make sure that it's as effective as the MMR vaccine or the MMRV. And if you don't know what that means when I say MMR, so MMR is a 3-in-1 vaccine. It stands for measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella. I mean, sorry, measles, mumps, and rubella. That's 3-in-1. And then the MMRV is measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella, also known as chickenpox. That's a 4-in-1. And so there's a program called the Vaccines for Children's Program. And this program was actually created in the 1990s. I can't remember the exact year, but because of the outbreak in 1989 that went up to 1991, this is why this program was created by our federal government. And this program, it offers free or low cost vaccines to children who are on Medicaid, children who are underinsured, or they do not have insurance, children who are of Alaskan, Indian, or Alaskan or Indian native. And we actually have providers on our website. If you go to houstonhealth.org, you can go to our measles advisory page. You scroll to the bottom, we have two maps. We have one for Texas vaccines for children and then one for the adult safety net. And so for Texas vaccines for children, the MMR and the MMRV vaccine, they are covered. So if you do not have insurance or your child has Medicaid or CHIP, you can get a free or low cost vaccine and you can find a provider. For the adult safety net, it is only the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine that is covered, and we have a provider on there as well. If you are a parent and you have any other questions, you can go to vaccineinformation.org. If you are a provider, you can go to immunize.org and you can find information for your patients. But here in the Houston Health Department, we actually have an email if you have any further questions. I believe it goes to our immunization bureau, and it is. Oh, sorry. Oh, I have a question. Oh, sorry, y'all. How can I convince my stubborn nephew to go get the vaccine? He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. How can I direct him? So the very first thing is make sure you have an empathetic approach. I know sometimes when we are speaking to people that we care about vaccines, we can get really aggravated when they don't want to get the vaccine. And so the best way is having that empathetic approach and helping them to understand that you are there to support them in making the best decisions. And one thing for me, I always tell stories. So I have friends that are immunocompromised because they are either currently going through cancer or they are like childhood cancer survivors. So, and they're okay with me telling their stories. And then for people that I know that have passed away because they did not get the vaccine, I tell those stories as well. That's the best way I recommend is storytelling. And if you need any information like that, you can go to vaccineinformation.org or you can email measles MEASLESINFO at HoustonTX.gov, and we can get that information over to you. And so that is all the time that we have today. Thank you all so much for joining this live, and I hope you have the most amazing day. Bye.